up, everybody? Big D coming at you. Another great interview this week. Probably my beard is all goofy and all over the place. Holy cow. Anyway, welcome, everybody. Glad to be back with you, coming to you from the 505 Summer Lounge, although we got a nice rainy fall day out there, so we'll take advantage of it. But before we get started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, please. Your likes and your subscription help continue to keep all the programming going. And, also helps us reach out to more people out there. And, of course, it's free. That's right. You can't beat free. Yeah, you got to be a subscriber. Why not? What else you got going on? Also, make sure that's pinned in the description or down in the comment section, as well as my link tree. Please go support my advertiser sponsors and preferred retail partners. They help continue to keep all the programming going on the show that you know and you love seeing every week. And your support goes a long way in making sure that that continues. Whether you're looking for cigars, whether you're looking for accessories, I got you covered. Make sure you use the exclusive promo codes that are only available to my viewers out there and save yourself some coinage. Also, we're coming up quick, 6 weeks away from Dallas Smokefest. I'm excited to be back for year number 2, and I want to see you all there. As far as I know, there's still 1 or 2 early bird special VIP tickets available, so you make sure you jump on that. Get on it, DallasSmokefest.com. When you check out, I'm going to save you even more coinage because you're already saving money buying the early bird ticket, right? Use that promo code 505REVIEW. That'll take care of you. While you're also on the website buying your ticket, click that link to take you over to the host hotel, which is the Omni in downtown Dallas. There's a block of rooms, but I've been told that block of rooms is almost to nothing. So, and they're giving those rooms away, by the way. You're not going to stay at the Omni anywhere in this country at the rate that they're charging. Unbelievable. So go book your rooms. I want to see you there. If you don't book your room now, and I don't see you there, you're going to be hanging out with me at the No Name Motel somewhere in the hood. So I want to see you all there. DallasSmokefest.com, promo code 505REVIEW. Grab those last couple of early bird VIP tickets. And my guest tonight will also be part of Dallas Smokefest. And, of course, this year we have featured a lot of amazing brands that are coming out of the DFW area. And these guys most certainly qualify for that. I got to meet them in New Orleans at PCA. I'm excited to have them on the show tonight. And we have the co-owners jumping on. We have Ike, Corey, and Edwin of Friends Cigars. Welcome, gentlemen. Glad to see you.
Dan, welcome. Appreciate you, sir.
What's up, Big D? Front of 505, man. Frontier land, big.
Glad to have you guys here. I'm going to hand it over to y'all so you guys can introduce yourself and talk a little bit about the brand.
Sounds good. I'll go first. My name is Corey Sneed, and I'm the proud co-owner of Friends Cigars here in Dallas, Texas. It's a pleasure being on your show tonight. I appreciate your energy, and thank you for bringing us on.
Hey, Big D, Daniel, to everyone watching. I want to give credit to the city that we're truly in. We're in a little suburb southwest of Dallas, Texas. And we normally say Eagles fly high. We in DeSoto, man. DeSoto, Texas, where Eagles fly high. So I'm Edwin. I'm one of the co-owners of Friends Cigars as well. And then I'll pass my time and the mic, rhetorical mic, to my right, to my man.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ike. I'm one of the business partners in over merchandising with the team. I'm glad to be on. Thank you guys for having us. And yeah, welcome to the patio.
The patio.
This is the home. This is the room of thought and creativity. We're here majority of the weekends from, say, right now to the wee hours of the morning, enjoying life and just talking about how friends can become better to help other friends. Further expanding our name and expanding who we are. People like you, Dan, to get us further on the table of knowing who friends are.
Good. I'm glad to have you guys on, and of course, we're already seeing some of the crew coming in. The one, the only, the master himself, Cigar Rockstar.
Rocktober.
That's right. Rocktober is coming up. Exactly.
October starts Thursday, man. It begins at on this Thursday coming up.
What up, Rob?
And it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I believe it's Sunday too, Rock. You can chime in and say whether or not it's on Sunday. But yeah, on the way this week.
Rock, we're around the street. Hey, pull up, man. You can take my seat.
Stefania from Black Box Cigar Club is also, I see, in the chat.
Oh yeah, Stephanie, that's my
Stephanie.
That's right.
Yeah. How are you?
But the Pac Northwest. What's up, Steph?
My ambassadors.
Well, I got two choices here to choose from on tonight's smoke from you guys. Now, I've only smoked one of your cigar, which was the cigar that I smoked down in New Orleans. So tonight, I got two choices, which were in the September Black Box box, which were you guys were kind of the feature brand out there. So I have the Bronze Star and the Attitude.
We're on the Brown Star tonight, baby. You know the Brown Star with
the Brown Star. Okay, we will go with the Bronze Star tonight.
All right.
Good All right.
So give a little bit of history, Big D. What you're smoking there is you should have, like we have here, Connecticut with a Dominican binder and this nice complex Dominican filler, which is a Cubano Velado Piloto. In this particular cigar, we decided to introduce as acknowledgement and credence to all Department of Defense personnel and all people who served. Particularly, I'm a Bronze Star recipient, so I figured, hence the name, Bronze Star Stogie. And as you can see, the bands, we get those bands made by Nico, a guy named Nico down in Tampa, Florida with Cigar Bands Company. Look at the smoke though, man. Look at the ash. So there's a guy named Cigar Hero out of New Jersey. I'm going to give him credence tonight. He smoked his cigar down, man, to about 1/8 of an inch, and he had it standing on the table. I had never seen a cigar smoke that deeply and the ash burned so tightly and crispy white, a little bit crispy white and gray in the area here and there. But he stood it up, Big D, on the table, man. I was like, wow. So I show people that cigar to show the true quality of this cigar and how from the farmhands to the master blender and everybody to Continental Cigars out in La República Dominicana, specifically in the town now of used to be Tamboril, but Villa Gonzalez, how they constructed a great stick for us. So smoke on, my brother. Enjoy.
So let's talk about when did the idea for you guys, who are clearly friends, and it seems like you're longtime friends there, when did the idea come go, what, man, we should start our own brand?
Corey?
Yeah, you have the story. You got the story.
Oh, Big D, man.
You tell the story.
I gotta be sharp, Big D. So one day Corey and I were smoking in the same city at a place in Espanol, we would say Ahí está, right over there, probably less than 1/8 of a mile from where we're sitting.
Right.
Small cigar lounge. We were in there smoking, and we engaged in a conversation with a guy who was part of a cigar company at the time. He's in the DFW community. We asked him, give us some insight about the cigar industry. He talked about his experiences. So from that conversation, what Corey and I took from that was the precepts to a challenge. Hey, man, we could do this. So I said, Corey, let's start a cigar line, man. Corey said, hey, man, he thought about it 1 or 2 days. We came back and said, let's do it. So about 3.5 weeks later, we formed the LLC in December of 2021, Corey, or 2020?
2021.
2021. About 3 weeks later, we had a San Andreas wrapper, 6x54 total San Andreas wrapper with Nicaraguan and Dominican binder and filler. It was named the King Cake. Hence the name. You were down in Louisiana, giving credence to my family members there. So I took my family crest, put the family crest on as the label, if you will, the cigar band on the cigar, and alluded to the Mardi Gras colors, which are purple, gold, and green. And from there, I gave the guy the cigar. In conversation, the guy said, hey, man, the cigar lounge owner wants total exclusivity. And from there, I thought we were on to something because, hey, if Jordan would have given Phil Knight and another business partner from Nike total exclusivity, Michael Jordan would have made all the money he made from endorsements from the Air Jordan shoes. So for 3 years and 9 months in running, we all sitting here today as business partners can say that we have one of our other council members just showed up, Mr. Al Holly, Casey Kidd. He's one of our board members. He's behind the scenes. But needless to say, we can say collectively, Dan, that the King Cake, in competition with your mild, medium, and full body cigars, is still #1 seller for us. We've morphed off into what we have now, a Robusto, which is a King Cake vanilla that we get from one of our other business partners down in Miami and Tampa, Florida area. So there you have it. That's how we got started, bro.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love listening to stories like that. You know, it's just like, let's do it. And then you do it. And then it's like you come out with something beautiful. How did you get into contact with the guys at Continental Cigars?
Man, that's a great question. So let me go back and just put weight on the King Cake. King Cake allowed us to get our name out and to allow us to interact with our community and our, cigar sisters and brothers of the league, to just allow us time to find the right contacts. So we did have another company that we were working with in Miami that gave us a plug for Continental. He said that, some guys out in Continental or in Villa Gonzalez region, Continental Cigar Factory, and they're small, they're up and coming, and they do great work. So we just got a real nice plug at the right time. And the reason it took me about 2 days to say, let's go get into the business is because I knew we needed to do something unique or something that's, significant to the industry. So that's basically what we did. We took our time. We allowed the King Cake to grow and to gain popularity. And once people really had confidence in that product, it allowed entrance to the other products that we produce.
Excellent. Yeah. I've heard about you guys for a couple of years. I didn't officially get to meet or smoke anything you had until New Orleans out there. But, I'm pretty ingrained well with a lot of the Dallas crew down there, and they've done nothing but talk highly of you guys.
Wow.
And so, when rock stars like, man, you got to have these guys on. They've got a great story. They make great cigars. And so I'm like, well, if Rockstar is going to vouch for you, then yes, I'll reach out. I want to see if you guys want to come on and see how it goes. So I'm glad to see you guys on. I'm glad to see you in Black Box. Always get something amazing and delicious every month out of Black Box. So, kudos, shout out there to Dantley and Stefania and James and everybody. They do fantastic work out there. Yeah.
James out there.
So now that you got your name out there, you got a couple of cigars out there. What are you, when you guys sat down and talked, are you guys where you thought you'd be, not where you thought you'd be, or ahead of where you thought you'd be?
Wow, that's a great question. I think we assumed that we would be further along in the game as far as production and volume. We had, I don't know, maybe I had the idea. All we had to do was create a website and cast out a couple of advertisements, and we'd be on the road, right? But it really takes time for the maturation of your product, your brand, to allow people to know who you are and trust in what you're doing. So that takes time to win confidence in your product. So, my partner here, he always says, or refers back to the story of the tortoise and the hare. We both have full-time jobs. We're not doing this to get super rich, so to speak, but we want to put a quality product into the hands of our brothers and sisters, because when you sit down and smoke a cigar, that's time. That's the most valuable asset anyone has, is their time. So we want to bring value and some type of quality to that time when someone sits down and smokes a cigar. So that's what we're trying to produce.
I would say, for being a 3-year-old company, or just 4-year-old company now, being a 4-year-old company, you've got You've got numerous lines within your portfolio. Your name is out there. I mean, and especially now getting picked up in, boxes out there. I think you're ahead of the game where you should be. Just personally, I think you're ahead of where I think you're ahead. Everybody has this idea that they're going to take off and they're going to, it's like it's going to be an immediate hit, but you gotta you gotta crawl before you can walk, and I think where you're at now, you crawled and then you walked a little bit, but then you took off running, and you.
Right.
I don't see you guys stopping, and all the great things that I hear. You're much more than a regional brand. I think that you've kind of put that name out there, that especially now being in a box and being picked up in a retail shop out there like Black Box, that now you're ahead of the game.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate that. I got a cousin down, Walter, United States Army veteran, Special Forces. Walter smokes about 10, 15 cigars a day. He said, Edwin, he was smoking the one you have. We call it the Actitude, which is attitude in Spanish. He said, Edwin, some of my Colombian friends are smoking this cigar and they want to know where can they get it. This was about 2 years ago. Walter told Corey and I, he said, guys, I've been smoking cigars for 25, 30 years. And from his personal experience, he said, I think you guys are ahead of where you should be. And I'm scratching my head saying, ahead would mean that I can go outside and buy that white Corvette and that white boat that I want to go out there and hang out on Joe Pool Lake. But I don't see the head that he's talking about, bro. So I said, what are you talking about? He said, man, listen, you guys, you're ingratiated with your entire process. He said a lot of people will believe in you and want to buy your product, because when we talk about sitting down with our Mr. Longronia, our QA/QC guy, Eddie, Joel, our master blender, Kinder, the owner, Roman, the owner, Kinder and Carlos, the owners, and those people, the farmhands, the Haitians, the Dominicans who are doing the work. It's like, wow, man, when we sat there and smoked from everything we constructed, we could talk like making a pizza. Tomato paste, pepperoni, sausage, vegetables, more salt, batter, what do you call it, dough, you're throwing it up like a chef. We can talk that story and say, hey man, we sit there, we go to our folks, and it's not just like a regular customer. We become brothers and sisters. So when we say we pull single stems and smoke, just like that, he'll have us roll a single stem from Seco, Viso, Lejero, Valado. We can talk that talk because we've been there, we've done it, and now we're constantly learning. So when people hear that story, as Corey said, the tortoise and the hare race, I'll digress and go there a little bit. A lot of people, when you meet them out in public, various lounges or at events, they'll say, hey, why are you guys not doing this? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? A lot of times we tried some of the things or tried to get placement, if you will, in certain people's humidors or certain stores. And you get the answers such as, well, right now you don't fit our business model, or we don't have any space for your cigars, which is part of the industry. I accept it. I accept it. Everybody's not going to say, yeah, give me all your cigars. I'm going to buy all of them right now. But as we go forward and see that it's more rewarding as we trot along. One step forward is progress. The hair is running fast, getting tired. Here comes the slumpy old, grumpy old tortoise just moving right along. And the tortoise ends up hitting the finish line like, we got here at the same time. So, yeah, man, I'm going to pass the mic over to my man, Big Ike, to my right. Add to that, Ike, Mike. Yeah. Come on, man. Let's give 505 in the world something to see.
Man, I mean, these guys have said it all, right? And so, looking at much to which all three of you guys have stated that, I believe what Dan said was we are where we're supposed to be. This year we incorporated a lot more backpacking, as we like to call it. We're out there instead of just venturing out to the lounges. We're out in everyone's face. We're meeting everybody. We're greeting everyone, letting people know and understand who friends are and what we truly represent. And I feel like that's brought our biggest ROI this year for us, rather than just saying, okay, we're going to trust in the lounges to bring us in and put us in their humidor and sell on their level versus us going up and just moving our own product. So that's how.
And people who are watching, that's why it's important for you when you go to your local shop to tell them you want this, you want them in your lounge, you want them in the humidor. You gotta tell them. It's like, man, you don't have Friends Cigars? Have you had them? Well, I mean, that way you're putting it on the store owner there to get in contact with you guys, so you guys can, get in there and see how it's at. I liked how you did your cut and light in New Orleans. I thought that was fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
It was it was a lot of fun, and you kind of it was kind of a different and unique experience for a cut and light than what you normally see out there. So I thought it was good. I thought it was good exposure for you guys, and that was just me kind of just hanging out and sitting and just observing on my end.
Well, appreciate it. Thank you.
So
having you.
Dan, Big D, I'll add to that. So that the deal we did in New Orleans was something special to family members. As you know, New Orleans is particularly known for the Mardi Gras activities. Unlike Rio de Janeiro and Mobile, Alabama, know your history, folks, where it really started. New Orleans just kind of perfected. But needless to say, the Jug Social Club, a group of men who started decades ago, and they named their parade, their annual parade, that the crew of Nam Tok, which stands for New Orleans Most Talked Of Club. So I was going down there. My dad's a past king from 1999. My brother Ryan and I, Renee, my sister, we rode in the parades. My niece and nephew, CJ and Morgan, rode in the parades. And it's an annual thing. Cultural celebration, if you will. Throwing things from a float, trinkets and stuff like that. So we went down there and thought it would be a good time to highlight some of the people in the community and do some things out in my neighborhood where I grew up, a place called Algiers, which is on the west bank of New Orleans, Louisiana. So that's why we did that. And we were so grateful to have you come all the way from the 505 area code, along with Absolute Cigars. Hey, Nicky Morris out there. And so we appreciate that. But that's why we did that, man. And there's a car show they have coming up in a few weeks, and they were asking about us coming out there. So we have local ambassadors, if you will. So what we'll do is supply my brother Ryan, who's a local ambassador in Louisiana, some of the product to go out there and cater to those guys and ladies in that audience, so they can have some of the French product while they're out there enjoying their car show. I think it's 18 October 18th, 2025. So yeah, thanks. Appreciate that.
So now that you've kind of seen the process, you've gone to the back, you've seen how the food's made on there, and they've really kind of put you involved in the process on this. Do any of you there have that bug to sit down at the blending table and actually work a blend yourself? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. That's the engineer, man. He in his real life, he deals with things that are 1,000 times smaller than the naked eye can see. Mr. Microscopy right here. GCMS, wow. GCMS and electron microscopes that can see stars on Mars right now, man. Small dude, Big D, small dudes, man.
So Big D, yes, we definitely want to have more of that involvement in coming up with our future blends. Actually, we were a part of our current blends. Right. So everything that we've done, from the labeling, from our boxes, this is basically coming from our creativity, along with the people who help us with our internet. So we're involved in all of the production of our products.
Excellent. That's one of the questions I always ask when I have brands on is, you have an ambition to want to try and blend, because you on it, and it seems to be about 50-50. Some are like, nah, man, I want to leave it to the professionals to do. I know what I want. I tell them what I'm looking for, and they make it. And the others like, no, man, I want to sit at that table. I want to work those blends myself, and I want to be able to sit out there. And when somebody asks about the stick, I go, no, I created this. I came up with the blend. I'm the one that worked it.
Yeah. So I just like to go back a little bit. I want to give shout out to Tanya Neal, who helped us with our initial website and the creation of our logos and a lot of the, like this right here, this banner. She helped us develop and create this blend or this structure. It's great. She's very, very smart. That is actually Chevalier's sister. So we got to give shout out to them.
He's live right now. Thursday night.
Yeah, I know. He's live. He's live. He'll be popping in with his medium-sized shirt and
You got the jazz on the background. You probably can't hear it, but for my man who loves the jazz.
yeah, loves the jazz. I know. Last year in Dallas, I go. We're at this club, and I don't know. It was like 2:30 in the morning, and he's like, "I'm gonna bolt." I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'll bolt too." He's like, "You want to ride back to your hotel?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Cool." He goes, "I'll give you a ride." He goes, "Where?" He goes, "I apologize. I'm in my wife's car. It's the beater. She's got my truck." And I was like, "Nah, bro, it's all right. I don't care as long as it gets from point A to point B." So I walk out. I'm like standing in front of some piece of shit Honda Accord out there because he said he was in a beater. No, he's fucking a Porsche.
Right.
I'm like, you said you were in an old car. He's like, "Yeah, it is an old car. It's a 2018. It's an old car."
Wow. Hey, man, that's a different
lifestyle. Yeah, different lifestyle.
I know. I always forget he lives in the trailer park.
Wow.
Yeah. I love that guy. I love Chevalier and his shirts that are 3 sizes too short. And even though he does order his steaks well done.
Well, hey, we won't.
To each their own.
That's
Right,
it.
to each their own.
Thanks, Ike. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I know. Well, as I told him, I go, you live in Texas. That could be a felony for defaming beef.
Wow.
So how do you like your beef prepared? Medium rare?
Medium rare. Yeah.
Okay.
Smart man.
When I put the fork in it, I still want a little bit of a moo coming out.
Okay.
So are you eating those bison out there, man? You eating those bison steaks out in frontier lands or what? You got bison out there.
Yeah. So they're one of the biggest bison ranches in the United States. Sits right on the border with Wyoming and Colorado, and I do get it. They also raise camels out there. So if you wanna get camel meat, they also raise camels, which it's weird when you're driving on the highway and it catches your eye when you're looking and you see camels out in the middle of a field and you're like, what are camels doing out here?
Yeah. I've never had camel. Have you?
No, I haven't eaten it.
Okay.
I'm sure.
I think there was a cook in a small town named Dahran in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Shur Ishmak Bakalam Arabic, my friend. So I will tell you, I think somebody may have put that on the plates of U.S. soldiers many, many years ago during Desert Shield, Desert Storm. So I can't truly say no, but hey, at the time, soldier had to eat what we did.
I'm not against it. I just, me personally, I've just never had it. It's not something that has been like on a menu where you're like, you know what? I think I want to try the camel hump. Just not something you see. Bison, you see a bison steak or elk. It's like, yeah, I'll have that, but it's not something that you readily see out there. That's got to be something more, specialized.
I recently had a chance to try elk. It was phenomenal. Very good.
Oh, elk is fantastic.
Prepared just right.
Good deal.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. There's a lot, but I do enjoy a nice bison steak. I think if anybody hasn't had it, you should definitely get it. A little pricey, but it's so lean and it's delicious. It's delicious. You can taste the difference between bison and cow.
Yeah, you can.
It's out there. Yeah. So I got here with the Bronze Star and
all right,
nice nice, smooth Connecticut is when as I'm putting it. The one thing that I do notice on this that I like is that it has a very punchy retro to it, which I think is fantastic. It doesn't fall in line with the rest of the cigar, which is very smooth, very creamy, buttery. And so the retro's great. I like it. It works well with the blend, having a nice punchy retro with that creamy stick.
Right. Hey, Big D, check this out. What I like to do with my cigars is I'll smoke it down to maybe half and let it sit out in the natural air overnight. And a lot of people say you're going to get the tar and the char taste of the ash and, if you will, the burned cigar leaves at the end of the foot to wherever you stop. But I'll go up and scrape the ash off and then relight. And with that particular cigar, I let it sit out in my backyard overnight, man, and went out and smoked the next day. And it felt like I smoked a triple ahedo from La Flor Dominicana or something really, really strong. I have a mild or medium palate. I like mild cigars. So I'm just starting to step up into medium plus, and full body cigars. I smoked a Chisel Lento by La Flor Dominicana the other day. It's a double ahedo. It's a Chiseletto is the tip of it. So you don't have a regular shoulder. It's almost like it's smashed, and you smoke it like a small cut in the top of the cigar, right above the shoulders. And man, I cut. It was a torpedo though. The full length of the Vitola was a torpedo. But man, I tell you, I let that thing sit overnight, and when I smoked it, I got the punch as if I was smoking an Andalusian Bull from my palate. Some people may say Andalusian Bull is easy to smoke for me, but for me, that's the type of cigar that would sit me way down. Like I'm now in a zombie mode because I smoked such a powerful pack cigar with also strength of the Lajedo in it. So I let it sit overnight and smoke, man, and it gives a different perspective after it sits and you relight. A lot of people, aficionados within the industry will say, well, the etiquette of a cigar is once you smoke it, you put it out, you're done. Don't go back to it. Well, I like to go back to my product because it's money. So I'm figuring I'm not going to waste this leaf. Yeah. Like Al and I were joking last night. We were like, man, you know what? Sometimes we don't have cigars. Man, we go to the ashtray, looking and picking in the ashtray, saying, let me see what I got to relight, man. I told Al the other night, I was out in the grass, Big D. I was out in the grass looking for a cigar that I had thrown away the night before because I was out. I didn't have any from the humidor, and I didn't have any product at my house. Like, man, I feel like smoking a cigar, but I was out. Man, I'm walking around like somebody with a flashlight in the daytime looking for a cigar in my grass and couldn't find one. So that's when I had to call Steve. Hey, man, let me get a cigar, man. So,
shout out. Hey, what's up, Lynette? Good to see you. Another fantastic sister of the leaf there, part of that Dallas crew.
Hey, man. She's trying to get her on, man. I sent her the link. She's our social media marketing specialist, so trying to get her on. She's said she was having some difficulty, so I sent her the link that you sent me. But whenever you have a question, whenever you want to change gears about some of this nice gear that we're wearing, we're gonna get a microphone to my man. I'm gonna tell you about how he came up with. He and I argued back and forth about, hey man, you need merchandise. Everybody has merchandise. You got merch, so it's not merchandise now, it's merch. So I was so eloquently told. So I'm like, okay, merchandise. I said, man, look, we want to sell cigars. We're not in the industry of selling clothes, not Levi's, not Lee jeans or whatever. I said, no, listen, dude, you gotta have merchandise. So shouts out to Shawan Mims, his cousin, man, Elite Stitches, my man Antonio Gaynor. Gaynor makes everything for us. Everything for us. I won't steal Lynn's thunder, but Lynn has some stuff that she's making for females under the auspices of the French umbrella. And I said, hey, man, you got to have merchandise on your table. So we just did an event down in Conroe, Texas with Cigar International a few weeks ago. And when I tell you, I had 20 pieces alone on the table. I had some pieces. I had some Nikes, man, some Air Jordans that I put some of all of our labels I put on the swoosh of the Nike. Big D, we had people coming to the table saying, hey, man, how much the Nikes? How much the Nikes? Ike is calling me. We're inside with a lady, a powerful sister of the leaf named Timmy. Shouts out to Timmy down in Houston, Texas area with what's the name of her cigars, man? I can think.
Empress.
No. Her cigars. I can't think of the name of the word. She has her own cigar line. I forget the name, Timmy. I'm sorry right now. It's escaping. But needless to say, I was like, hey, man, how much you want to sell these sneakers for? People calling for these Nikes, man. I said, man, 140, 150, sell it to them. But I've learned in looking at other people's presentations, if you will, when they're out at the cigar events, merchandise goes a long way. Shout out to my man, Chris. Chris is the brother of my man, Dallas Lee, Ron. And Chris has his T-shirts he and his wife are selling. So when we go to these various cigar events, we see people putting out their merchandise. Excuse me. And the sales of merchandise goes a long way because it's free advertisement. Think about it. If somebody were to buy your shirt, Big D 505, and walk around with that in a 917 area code, New York or Ohio or Michigan, you're getting free advertisement every time somebody's putting on your product. Now learning, like I said earlier, return on investment, return on assets. I have a young friend of mine, a brother named Harold Franklin. He said, you ever look at a Porsche commercial or Mercedes or a Bugatti commercial? I said, where are you going with this? He said, the product sells itself because of the bona fides of its name and their reputation. He said, so he's a younger guy, I'm probably about 15 years your senior. He said, I asked one question of you, Edwin. Why are you and Corey not wearing your merchandise when you're out in the public? I said, we never thought about it. And I give all the credit in the world to this guy, Tanya Neal, first for creating those images for us, those beautiful images. But I came in with a great idea and said, you know what? Let me take over merchandising. I'll be the director of it. And let me do what we do. So they get kind of ticked at me because I'll pop out Lynn and say, hey, where did you get that hat from? Man, I'm like, hey, Lynn. And I can say, man, you got different designs. So our designer, Mr. Antonio Gaynor, says, hey, look, everybody can't wear what the owners wear, man. You're going to sell a certain amount of products. Certain items you will sell, but certain items are not for resale. So, Ike, what do you say to that, sir? Chuck, Big D. I'm going to let the big guy chuckle.
What do you want to ask me, Big D?
Yeah, no, I think I love merch. You know, I wear brand stuff all the time. Brand shirts, hoodies, hats. You know, and they're always, if you go through my feed, I've always got somebody's merch usually on. If I'm not smoking something after, you know, when I'm smoking something after work, I'm in my work gear, my uniform. But, you know, when I'm not, I've always got somebody's merch and gear on, even if I'm smoking in our brand, because it's seen out there. So people out there, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm not smoking a friend's cigar, but they're seeing the friend's hat or they're seeing the friend's hoodie or shirt out there. It's getting your name out there, whether or not I'm smoking your stick or not. You know, I'm out there, you know, it's just a small little promotion out there. And it gets people's idea because, you know, yeah, they see the stick, but they also see what I'm wearing.
There you go.
You know,
I've watched another cigar merch, I guess a cigar shirt designer out in Tampa, and I watched his shirt grow to a nationwide scale. And though he doesn't own us, he doesn't have a particular cigar line whatsoever, but he does have a shirt, and the shirt's very popular.
yes.
Even I have his shirt, and like when I was out, just an example, I was out last Saturday at an event. Everywhere I go, we have our clothes on, and I walk in the room, and it's like, oh man, Friend Cigars is here. They didn't even announce my name. They're screaming over the speaker. Friend Cigars in the house, man. Shout out to Friend Cigars. And everybody looks around and they're like, oh man, I didn't know y'all were coming. And I was like, well, I didn't know I was coming either. And the next question, you know, because of the growing popularity of us, because what we're doing, what we're doing is actually working. There's not a place we don't go where someone see our shirts and it's like, or see our gear and say, hey, do you have anything on you in the car? Do you have any? In most cases, I carry inventory. I haven't recently because I've been giving it all away. And we have a growth so fast that every time they see us, it's like, man, let me buy something. And so it's like, it's just a growing thing, you know? I basically, my idea was, I looked at our box, right? So you look at our box right here, you see the face there, you see the FC with the crown in there. And I said, man, I want that on a shirt. and it's clean. It's very direct, you know. And so we put it on our polo shirts here. So because when we're going out and we go out to deliver product,
Gentleman's quality.
we go out to
GQ.
deliver the product, and you know you go to the golf course. You want to go when we go golfing. These brothers love golf. This brother right here loves golfing.
Never
We go
scored
golfing.
below 100, but I'm still trying. Tiger Woods, y'all.
When we go golfing, we want something real clean, real that represents who we are, right? And like all of our designs are specifically tailor made to who we are, from the FC Circle to the Friend Cigars, which my brother's showing right here, all the way up to the Hermanos. I call this the Hermanos, which are the brothers. And if you look at every Friend Cigar box, this logo is there. And so I wanted to be seen. We are walking Friends boxes. So when people see our boxes, they see our shirts, they're saying, okay, I know I'm going to get top quality, because we also have a top quality smoke. So we're going to give them top quality merch, also with our to match with our top quality cigars, also to pair with our quality of whatever whiskey or that we
Drinking water, kids. We drink water.
So the overall idea is to make our apparel represent our cigars, which is top quality at all times.
So, I want to go back a little ways here, and after you got your first cigar in and you smoked it, you go, "This is the one," and then you started hitting lounges to get them in there. What was that feeling like when the first lounge brought you in?
Let me add to that. Before, so Corey used to fly a lot. He still flies a lot on airplanes. So Corey said, "Hey man, I got an idea." When I'm sitting on the airplane, he's writing on notes. He said, "Hey man, I gotta get the blends out. I gotta get design." I said, "Corey, come on, bro. Come on, man. You gotta get it." Not having the experience of smoking, as long as my man here has had, my brother, he said, "Edwin, listen." And I took heed to it. He said, "Look, a lot of people, one, don't really care for boutique, we don't call it boutique cigars, and or flavored or infused cigars." So I said, "Okay, I can respect that." So he said, "We need to build lines, product lines, which cater to mild, medium plus full body cigars." I said, "Okay, I'm listening." So hence the name of the birth of the altitude, the actitude, the 1888.
Yeah,
From there, the anniversary, the Lejero, the double Lejero we made for the DSF, the King Cake Vanilla. At the end of this year, we'll have 10 lines. We're coming out quality behind the scenes now. We're going to introduce the Mesmerize, which is a great blend, great, awesome label. We have an old fashioned we're going to introduce to the world, which is going to be a Lonsdale. Corey particularly thought about that and said, "Hey, let's switch up the product line to try to cater." We had a lot of females asking us at events, "Hey, you have any Connecticut's?" We didn't have Connecticut's at the time, so I said, "Hey, Steve, we have to listen to our audience and our customers. We introduced a Connecticut." We released it at the Houston Cigar Week on Memorial Day. I think it was May 25th, 2025. And we gave discounts to veterans and veterans family members. At the end of the night, we wanted people to know, "Hey, we made this for you all because you talked, you asked, we heard, we responded." So to your point, man, go on, Corey, add to that. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But yeah, good question, man. So when we thought about that, we was like, "Hey, we have to build a product line that can go to any market." So when we went to our first lounge was actually we gave the cigars to the lounge in DeSoto was Allure, owned by a guy named Kevin. We came in at a certain price. Of course, learning the industry, we didn't know. We were just so excited to say, "Hey, we have a particular cigar lounge who now has our cigars in their humidor selling." And that particular cigar lounge, if I'm not mistaken, to Corey's credence right there, he said Allure. Allure was a popular cigar lounge once here in DeSoto, Texas. But since then, we've grown our, if you want to say, geographic footprint in this local area with, we think, Roz over at the Smoky Jacket, Roz and Grady brought us in over there. Mr. Tommy Black over at Kunoma and Cedar Hill. Yes. We have Edwin Brown, former WNBA player and All-Star, shoot that hoop, over in Lancaster, Texas. We have, with Blowing Smoke, we have some guys. Right now, we had about 13 accounts, and I'm trying to mention everybody. We have some guys named Commish at 2 liquor stores here, the Grand Prairie area and Dallas, Texas area. We have a guy at King's Lounge down in Austin, Texas. One of our second lounges is West Reading, PA. My man, was it Legacy, right?
Yeah, Legacy.
Out there
Reading, PA.
in West Reading, PA. We have a man Ed out in Ohio. We have a man Pendulum over in Fort Worth. We have Jay Houston in West Jackson, Fort Worth. We have a guy out in Luther. Shout out to Luther in Charlottesville, Virginia. Man, we have ambassadors. We have Stephania, who's helping us out there in Pacific Northwest. We have Corey Banks, who's an ambassador, who says, hey, I want to get you guys in cigar lounges out in Los Angeles. Right. We have the gentleman, what's the brother's name, down in Tampa, Florida, working for us, who's going to do Ybor City for us because we can't be there this year. I'll let Corey and I talk about a big event we have to wrap up the end of the year. Friends Cigars is going to do, and I know I'm all over the place, but we're going to do a big party, all white cut light. We're going to smoke at Fuentes' Cigar Lounge in Santiago, and I'm going to stop right here and let Corey finish out the rest.
Yeah. So you asked, how does that make us feel? We feel just, honored for lounges and, our customer base to, receive our product, because this is not easy. I know the industry is inundated with a lot of different companies, but still to really produce a good quality cigar, create your box, create your bands and all it, it's a lot of work. So for a business to say, hey, we're going to bring you in, that really does, well for us. We're just appreciative to the support, and it makes us even want to work harder to produce that next blend. So it's just a rewarding feeling. We drive for it.
Yes,
we want to do our best to provide quality products to the viewing audience and to everyone that's brother, sister of the leaf.
Also, I want to add to LG Cigars Lounge, all those people who allowed us to come into their homes,
definitely,
in their businesses to do what we call cutting lights. Man, we had some awesome successful cutting lights. LG recently brought us in Mr. Leonard Grantham out there in McKinney, Allen, Texas. We had Greg from East Texas as well. So shouts out to all those people.
Yes, East Texas Cigars.
Edwin, Roz, Tommy, all the times you guys, even with the Rockstar, get us to come out and do certain events. So that allows us, again, to spread those tentacles out there throughout the geographical region in the United States of America. And we're still moving, man. So we're looking for the roadmap ahead. We just want to keep having fun. And as we tell everybody, Mr. D, Big D, smoking cigars, if you look at the bottom of our sign right here, it says you get a sense of unity when smoking cigars with friends. We don't come around and make enemies. We want everybody to be smiling and having fun at the end of the night. Join us as we have a good cigar from Friends product line. And just like you said, the good conversations that come about before we went live, that comes about in the cigar lounge. We want to have those good conversations and just be friendly with people. So that's what we're about, man.
So now that you've seen where your growth is at, are you looking at hitting up some of the trade shows to try and expand out your presence and portfolio out there, to a more nationwide audience?
Yes, sir. That is definitely the plan. Yeah, we did start out with PCA last year in New Orleans. We had a phenomenal time there, great exposure, very good connections. We plan to be there again in 2026. Hopefully we'll have a really nice booth where you guys can come and visit us. So definitely we want to get plugged in wherever we can.
We did Portland's, what was it called out in Portland?
Rose City.
Rose City.
Rose City was great. Man, we've done Houston Cigar Week, of course. DSF will be coming back this year as a diamond sponsor with Dallas Smokefest with the crew out there. Keep money those folks and everybody else who's putting that on. Nicky Morris and my man, all the ambassadors they have. We have phenomenal designs. Pete, we have Lynn, we have my man Dre and everybody else. So to your point, that's geographical footprints allows us to get to those spots and say, hey, we came out, took time out of our busy lives to come out to support you all and have a good time. So Charlotte is definitely on our list. We got to get up north to Detroit. We got my man D-Jack out there who supports us. So we got to get out there, man. It takes time and proper planning to ship a 10, and it costs money to ship. It's not just free. And you have to have the product. I want to highlight and say, someone asked us, we were on a panel at Cigar International a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I was telling people, to your point about how tough it is to get inside the cigar lounge, the bang of the buck we've made has been D2C. For a lot of people who don't know that, direct to consumer, direct to customer, however you want to call it, and B2B. Without a distribution deal from any of the big names in the cigar industry, we've been able for 3 years and 9 months to move amongst us and those cigar lounges who either bought our product in the past or continues to buy our product. And for all those people who allowed us to do the cut lights in their respective business places, we've sold, man, no less than 15,000, close to 20,000 cigars without a distribution deal, Big D, without a distribution deal. So we're going old school, pop in the trunk, like Ike said, backpack. I give credence to my man Cole Parker and Jamon. I was talking to one of their members, and it's like, hey man, when we started out, they had on backpacks. They were the term backpacking. Those guys, Definition Cigars, they're doing some amazing things, man. And
Definitely.
They're out there, they're known, they're continuing to grow, and we want to continue to grow and get our name out there and just have people smoke a good product, such as you're smoking right now and as we're smoking right now.
Yeah, I think the old school methods still work. They're valid out there, backpacking. You know, if you're out traveling, you're on vacation, you're out for work. I mean, business doesn't stop. It's like, hey, I'm out in wherever. You know, I'm out in Phoenix. Well, cool. There's 800 lounges in Phoenix. I'm backpacking. Let's go talk. Talk to some store owners. Drop some samples off. Let's see what we can work out to try and get in. There's nothing wrong with that. I know plenty of brands out there that still do that. When they try one brand that I have on quite a bit, he travels for his regular job all over the country, and he's hitting up lounge at every lounge. He gets done with work. He hits up every lounge that he can hit that's within the vicinity that he can get to top owners, and it's been one of his big keys to success that he's had out there. He's got out there, and he's like, I don't leave. I know I'm not going to leave with a deal in hand, but within a couple of weeks, when they finally get to smoking the samples I dropped off, they're calling and going, I want to bring you in, and I think that works.
Look, to that point, I was out in the Leeward Antilles. And for all you all listening, you go on and Google that. I was out in the Leeward Antilles this past weekend, provided shirts, Fran cigars, gave to the owners. We smoked. I smoked in 3 different lounges. I went to a cigar factory, and the guy said, man, you found me. He was off the road in the woods somewhere. I found him. He was so thankful. He gave me some cigars. I bought some cigars, and we smoked. So we're spreading that footprint. He's like, wow, I never heard of you guys. I gave him a hat. I left some T-shirts and 2 other cigar lounges. I'm going out to another spot that's not connected with the 48 lower states in the contiguous United States of America this upcoming weekend, and I'll be doing the same. To your point, very valid point. Everywhere we go, it's almost like leaving a bird dropping.
Yeah.
You want to plant that seed, for all my biblical minds, that mustard seed, water it, and then watch it grow.
Watch it grow.
So we're doing that. That's a great statement you made there, because that's what we're doing. Everywhere we go, sometimes I'm mad. I'm like, man, I didn't get cigars.
Yeah.
But hey, yeah. Good point,
but it
man.
shows the love that you have for your brand. Is that it's more than just a hobby. That
exactly.
It's serious, out here. That I'm taking the time. I'm out here. I'm with my family, and I'm taking time away because it's business, and I want to be in business with you. And I'm coming here. Look, I'm not saying you got to smoke my stuff now. Smoke it in a couple days. Smoke it in a couple weeks. Here's my number. After you smoke it, call me. That's all I'm asking.
Yep. And success comes with consistency over time. A lot of times people want to see, are you in it for the long haul? Are you going to be around the next couple of years? So you leave samples, you have discussions about your product. And what we've done, we've built the company slowly. We've established ourselves with a great factory. We're growing with the factory.
Good people.
Very good people. They're like family. We plan on doing some business together in the near future with land and expanding the factory. So we're connected with this. This is not a hobby. This is something that we're compassionate about, and we're here.
I love it. I think that's great. I love I just love seeing it, and I love the the nose to the grindstone on it. You're out there and you're passionate about what you do, and I think that shows. It definitely shows, with the cigar, out there. It's a fantastic smoke, and I'm thankful. I'm getting the opportunity to enjoy it, and I'm getting to enjoy it with you guys. So that makes it even better.
We got to see some more samples, man. And back you talk about trade shows. We do so much with other people. There's a man out there, Kingpin Cigars, Kingpin Luxury. My man, Boss Talks. My man, Bryson. So Bryson, I had an idea last year, this 3 weeks ago, to put so many items and accessories on the table. And Lynn was pressing me. It's like, Edwin, where are those cigars? Where are those boxes? Those disposable ashtrays. I said, Lynn, I don't have them yet. I'm working on it. So I said, man, you know what? Bryson, we got lighters from Bryson. I said, Bryson, you know what? I'm working for you this weekend, man. What do you mean? Give me some of those cigars. We're going to sell them for you. And that helps push his line at the same time, brings people come back to our table and say, hey, look, those guys had all those accessories. We're partnering with some of our business partners and our colleagues and friends to help promote them as well. So as you can see, that friend, we show love to people, man.
That's right.
We don't bad thing people. We don't badmouth people. We don't talk about it. We want everybody to win because, as you know, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. When I do research and I look at the Scandinavian group, how they buy companies, how Swisher bought, the guys from New York who gave up everything and just went down to Nicaragua, the guys from Jewish States, how they got started. These big companies like PDR, General Cigars, and they come in and they buy them out. Hey, we're still one of those home buyers who say, look, we still want to have our hands involved in the product. We don't want to just sell out for a big check. We want to but we love, to your point, the passion of being at the grassroots levels where people are with you while you're growing, while that mustard seed is growing, while that acorns, before it grows, become that big tree, or the redwood out in California. We love the interaction with our people when we get that the true genuine support. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention one of our good friends, Smoking Charlie. She said, hey, Edwin, I got something coming up for you guys. I'll tell you about it in a few. Next thing you know, boom. Good friend of mine, Smoke Chemistry, Cigar Lounge, man. Awesome place in Alton, Texas. If you ever here, I'll get you out there. We come from Cowboy Stadium for all those Cowboy fans.
Yeah.
They have something special that's going on. They're new. You know how people say, hey, new toy, new place on the block. Let's go check it out. They're doing some great things over there. And they just recently brought us in as well, man. So shout out to the owner. I won't mention his name due to privacy or whatever, but Charles is the working face of that particular company, and they're doing quite well, very well, shall I say, which is a few parking lots away from the famous Cowboy Stadium for all you all out there who are loyal to that blue star. You're Saints fan.
How about them boys?
You say who that? Cheesehead, baby. Cheesehead. Cheesehead. Michael Paulson, baby. You get no sack.
But it's just the beginning of your origin story out there, because like you guys, like we talked about just a little bit ago, you're out there, you're grinding it. Guy Jonathan Drew out there, trunk open out in front, hawking his cigars out in front of the World Trade Center out there. Yeah. He wanted to get in the industry, goes down to Nicaragua, sleeps on Don Kiki's floor and sweeps the floor just to learn the business in the industry to get it, to get his first batch of cigars, which I paid for it. He basically worked. He did all the grunt work that Don Kiki needed done, and then got his cigars made, goes back to New York, opens up his trunk in front of the World Trade Center, and sells to all the businessmen out there.
Battery Park, you know it.
Yeah, out there. Sure. Oh, my goodness, we got a rock star in the chat there. Kamani Jackson, what's up, brother? Good to see you.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on, boss?
Oh, that's his folks right there. What do you call it? The council. The DSL. What's up, Keith Martin, Mike?
Yeah.
The clip. We got the clip. Oak Clip. Or South Dallas. I don't know where you're from, but I know it's some part of Dallas. But you from the clip, you from Oak Clip.
SOC.
That's his hood.
Yeah. So, those origin stories, I think it pays because it adds to that experience. And when you're smoking a cigar, you want a good experience and knowing how people grinded it out. And Jonathan Drew did sell out to the big boys out there, but he earned that.
Right.
He busted his ass out there. And a lot of people who are big in the industry started out working for Jonathan Drew out there.
Yeah.
The Steve Sakas, the Matt Booths. They all got their start over there, and when they left, they went on and they have incorporated a lot of what Drew Estate stood for in those early years out there into their brands and that they created themselves out there. And
what's also good to add to that, Big D, is when we get the opportunity to sit down with the Nick Perdomo Juniors before PCA Corey met him. I met him over at a lounge that used to exist in Duncanville, Texas, named 3 R's. For the guy to be so nice and passionate to talk about how his family left in the revelation, his dad, the revolution, shall I say, from Cuba, and now you see the growing popularity of other Latina countries, shall I say, who are now engaged in cigar industry, like Nicaragua, La República Dominicana, Honduras, Panama, and all those other places. Ecuador, you can see how it's in their family legacy. It's part of their legacy. For us, sometimes we're like, hey, we may be looked upon as some guys, to your point, or engaged in a business hobby. And when I go to talk to some of those folks, for them to give us, I call it free information. Mr. Luis Farias, Mr. Luis Peralta, I'm sorry, at Arias Cigars in La República Dominicana. There's so many people, man, that are doing good things. And this is their tradition. This is a part of their culture. When you talk about culture, tradition, you look at it. Timmy told us a few weeks ago that about 90% of the rollers are females, man. So you look at an industry where a lot of people around the world are smoking cigars for whatever reason, and you have Sisters of the Leaves globally who are rolling this for us to sit down and have good time to smoke and talk about it and do whatever we do while engaging in this good, I call it a good hobby. So yeah. So
Continental has 80% females in the factory as well. So definitely.
Yeah, and if you want to have a conversation with Nick Perdomo, just bring up the Navy, as he's a Navy guy, and he'll spend 10 hours talking Navy talk with y'all on it. But if you want to get into the industry, that's one of the ways to kind of learn from a guy like Nick is bring up the Navy, talk about the Navy, and pepper in some industry questions, and he will talk your ear off on it, and you will learn a lot of valuable information. And
absolutely.
I learned from watching. Before Perdomo became a big, huge household name, 10, 15 years ago, Nick used to put videos out on YouTube and answer questions about cigars in the industry. Like he had one on the on how to cutting cigars and the proper way to cut a Bellicoso cigar. That it's not, it's not a straight cut across, and it's not using a V cut, but it's a cigar designed to be cut with a slant. I didn't know that, but now every time I light one up, I cut out a slant because that's how it was designed to smoke. So it was those things that
Lonsdale, which is a 48x7.
Correct.
We're going to launch that hopefully at DSF, and we're going to also launch the Mesmerize. We're going to put that, if I'm not mistaken, on a torpedo is what our plan is. So we like to pride ourselves by saying we were the only cigar company this year. Some of the big names, my man, shout out to David Blanco over in Clearwater, Florida. A lot of companies have made cigars to promote veterans and Veterans Day, but we did something different by announcing and releasing a cigar on Memorial Day. So we want to get 2 more cigars out at DSF. We're going to introduce Kimani, tell it to your team, to your executive board. We're going to introduce, our plan is to introduce 2 more cigar lines. The Old Fashioned is going to be the name of one, and the Mesmerize. When you all see the eyes of the Mesmerize and you smoke, you can be like, man, this thing right here.
Yeah. And we are back live on there, and we were just talking about this man right there. There's Bryson. Let's go. The 1888 is his go-to. We were just talking about you. Your ears must have been ringing.
Talk about selling them lighters, Mike.
Bryson has a great lighter, man. Before I even met Bryson and before I knew how much he was affiliated with Friends, I had the pleasure of meeting him, seeing his lighters, and I bought one at the first DSF event. It's a great lighter, man. It's a beautiful lighter. It has a what's it? It has a
clock.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh, you want
It has a quartz clock on it.
Turn blue.
It has two different. It has a couple different. Yes, 2 or 3 different designs on it. He has this one here, which is the silver and gold. He also has one that's a rose gold color. And man, it's a beautiful flame, beautiful lighter, man.
Nothing like
They love it. They loved it in Houston, man. This lighter is an amazing lighter, man. So shout out to Bryson. And he also has Boss Talk, which we were interviewed there.
Yeah, the rooftop,
man.
Yeah. Great setting.
I talked to him. I said, man, you gotta get me on this rooftop, bro. He was like, man, Friends was just there. I was like, well, we got Friends is again then.
Don't let Ike and Lynn take over, man. Talk about merchandising and social media marketing.
That's a great idea.
Which is so powerful, yeah.
Yeah.
So, we got shout out to my guy, man. Great lighter.
Great. Does a great job, and he said he's sorry he's late, but he had to be here, and we're glad that you're here, Bryson. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Bryson.
Oh man, but to double back to like our origin story, if you guys go on, speaking of which, you guys go on our website, friendcigar.com.net, drop in it's 505, drop in a 505 referral. We'll have a discount for you guys there. But also on the website, when you go, we have a particular page dedicated to Friends, right? And the mindset is friends enjoying friends, because our overall brand, our overall premise of our business is unity. We are one of the few people out here that's we're geared towards bringing everyone together for a good smoke. That's our motto, right? So just like we're here right now, it's everybody here. We just here for the smoke. We enjoy bringing everyone together. Of course, wearing our merch. Now, everyone brand recognition, everybody out wearing our merch is even a wonderful thing. Even carrying our lighters, it's a wonderful thing. So, yeah.
Bryson's lighters, and not our lighters.
By ours, I mean Bryson, because Bryson is our brother. It's still unity.
Yes, sir. You're right, big guy. It's unity. Don't put me in a headlock. Don't put me in a headlock, big guy.
I still bring brothers like hey.
I do, and I love it. And that's the one thing about, this industry out there, is that everybody can come together, and there's some petty bullshit out there, but for the most part, we do a great job within our community of policing ourselves. And we sit, we talk, we work with everybody, and it's just an amazing time. And I've met so many great and amazing people. Like I said, coming from being on the consumer side to 2019, creating content and working on the media side, I've learned so much more than I ever thought I'd imagine. And when I hear people talk, I love to take it in, and I just love to talk to people. I love the origin story, because everybody has one out there. And listen, we got Anthony Sawyer in there who says Friends Cigars is his top brand.
Big Sawyer, my man, the Hope. Big Sawyer, that's my brother from my golf club team. We go golfing every year. We smoke at the Fox when we were out in Arizona. We were down at the famous International Golf Course in Doral, Florida. Man, we go all over. Chula Vista is my guys, man. He can hit the ball one stroke, 400 yards, like Big Dilly. Big Sawyer. Yes, sir. You know what? Story, we never talked about how we want you to do something in Cheyenne, Wyoming, man. Bring us out to Wyoming so we could do some cigar cutting lights in the frontier lands, my brother.
Well, I only got one shop out here.
Hey,
And it's a corporate shop, so they don't really carry small brand stuff within within it. You know, I'm limited to the I'm limited to really getting a lot of stuff I have on online is where I get a lot of my stuff at. You know, I'd love to put an event on out here because I think it would be fun and it would be good.
Hey,
You know,
hey, Big D, I'm gonna jump in and just share. Like, if you're speaking with them, you know, talk with them and let them know if they go and check out us on Instagram, they'll see that even the big lounges like your CIs have welcomed friends in twice this year, and they've been more than impressed by the work that we do. Because we don't ask anyone for any help. What we do is we say, hey, bring us to the room and we'll take care of the rest. And everywhere we've gone, it's, oh my gosh, you guys are amazing, you know. And so we're putting in the work, and it's materializing. You know, it's materializing into something great, and that's one of the things for 2025 that we're proud of, and that we can hold a stick over and say, hey, look, this is what we've done, you know. And so if you're talking to the big label out there, the corporate lounge out there, just say, hey man, I got these guys, and I want you to check them out and show them. It's written, and
it's not that they haven't. You know, they have brought in quite a few brands, small brands out there that have been part of, because they put on the Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest, and so some of the brands that did really well, the small brands at Cigar Fest, they brought them in. They have brought them into a few of the shops out there, and so, you know, it's not that they don't. It's just, you know, they do a lot more work because there is a larger uneducated population out here that does smoke that only knows the big legacy brands, the heritage brands out there. But when they start getting introduced to some of the smaller stuff out there, you know, and they do very well, especially at Cigar Fest, they end up finding their way into. I have seen them come into the humidor, and I'm happy when I see them come in.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So, Big D, hey, man, I just want to say this for you, man. Shout out to you. Appreciate you for bringing the spotlight on small companies like ours, and just trying to bring awareness and exposing us, you know, to the masses. Man, we appreciate the work that you do.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, what motivated you to put something on like this?
So the vast majority of my smoking career was spent smoking boutique and small bands and small batch cigars because, you know, I never really had the money to, and even back when I started, you know, $6 for, you know, a Fuente or Padron was still quite a bit of money for me. And so I was stuck smoking a lot of the smaller stuff because it was $2 or $3, and I fell in love with it because I'm like, man, this smokes way better. This, you know, what's the difference? I started researching. They're buying the same tobacco, but because they're not mass producing millions of cigars, they're getting the better quality leaves that are out there, where they're just the big brands were just looking to get quantity of leaves, not so much the best quality. So the smaller brands were getting the better quality leaves out there, and they were producing a much better cigar.
Exactly.
And so, you know, I continued on, you know, and I was big into that big boutique revolution that hit in 2006 and 2007. And then when the economy tanked out there, a lot of those brands went away. And then the mini revival back in 2014, 2015, I was huge on that. But then when this third revival hit in 2019, you know, I'm like, I don't think people are aware of this. And my Instagram page was mainly a personal page, and it was just now smoking photos out there. And Anya Ramirez, you know, who's a influencer and content creator, I'd followed her for years and developed kind of a friendship. She's the one who told me you should do videos on this. You know a lot about tobacco. and people were watching. And no one's going to watch what I have to say. She's like, they will, trust me. And so when I recorded my first video, that was terrible. You know, everything that could go wrong with that video went wrong. The first 2 weeks I put out videos, she promoted it on her channel. So now I got almost 20,000 people who follow her watching my video, going and watching, and the channel kind of grew. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Because I was going to give myself a week. I go, let's see how it goes after a week.
Yeah.
But the way that the channel grew after that first 2 weeks because of her promoting, I was like, you know what? I owe my success to her because she's the one for months and months and months kept telling me to do videos, to put stuff out, to do content out. And so I did. And so my success is really attributed to her because I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for her out there. But my love for the small brands, I want to showcase you guys because what you guys, the small brands and those boutique brands, what you guys put out there, the quality of the cigars are unmatched because you're getting that high-end tobacco that the big brands don't want because, hey, we're here to put out, like I said, putting out mass quantities. So we just want tobacco. We don't want the high-quality stuff. You know,
Right.
We'll buy the high-quality stuff for some of our higher-end stuff, but they're not buying all of it. So it's filtering down to you, and you're getting that quality. And then when you work with these brands out there and these blenders that can do amazing things with high-quality tobacco out there, you put out something that's amazing and beautiful and tastes fantastic. And so more people need to know about it. And so now that I'm at a point with where I'm at with my followers and the content, I'm like, well, I want to do what I can to showcase. So when I moved away from doing reviews and I wanted to talk to people, I wanted people to get to know you, the people behind the brand, because I think that's part of the story and that sells, and it adds to what you got. It adds to the smoke, knowing, you know, when there's a history behind you and why you created the brand, why you created a certain cigar, you know, why was the cigar named this? You know, there's always a fascinating story, you know, and talking with Oliver from United Cigars, because I smoked a cigar done by Nelson Alfonso. And I was like, it's a good cigar, but I'm like confused by this. I'm confused by it because I didn't quite understand it. And then when he broke down the story behind, you know, well, we called it the Bandolero because the tobacco bandits would go to Cuba and they'd rob and steal tobacco leaves and then take them back to Costa Rica, and they'd manufacture counterfeit Cuban cigars with Cuban tobacco.
Yeah.
And then the cigar made sense to me on why he created the cigar. I was like, I get it. And then it just makes that cigar that much better every time I smoke it, because now I got the history, the story behind it, you know, and I'm a big history guy, and I love that. That's why I love what Eric Bay does at Black Star Line, is that he's a history buff and incorporating in history into his cigars. You know, it just adds to that smoking experience, which is just as important as how good the cigar tastes.
And that's great. Great answer. Appreciate that information.
Good deal. We want to give a shout out also to my man, Ray True Life, who came to support us. Ray is part of my man, Chevalier, and they do their podcasts and their live presentations on social media as well. So Ray came out to support us and support those guys that know the Cigar Festival. New Orleans is growing big time in this industry, and they're seeking to put on another great event coming up in 2026.
Yeah, they did a great job for NOLA Cigar Fest, and I was hanging out with Ray when the PCA people showed up, and they're like, "Yeah, we want to do something joint together with you guys and promoting the Cigar Fest with PCA, so that way more people who are coming into town for the event can come to more of these events and do it." And I thought that was great. Again, two organizations wanting to work together and showcasing what they're doing out there. And love Ray, and I love what he does at the Herfador, and of course the lounge on Thursday nights with
Yep.
Chevalier and his tight ass shirt from the trailer park.
Oh man.
Who's not here, by the way? Who's not here? 'Cause he went offline a while ago on his show.
Yeah.
So, some
But
friend.
he's going. I don't know why he's late.
Yeah, but yeah. That I think that's why, and so yeah, anything I can do to help promote the small brands out there to showcase them, I want to do, because I'm now at a spot with my platform that it's here, and and I've gotten that label out there from a lot of brands and from people who watch the show that they've been exposed to brands they've never heard of in their entire life, and I brought it to them, and then they went and bought the cigars, and I'm like, man, you're right, these guys, I'm happy to say that of all the brands that I've showed and I've featured out there, I have that only two that I was really high on ended up failing. The rest of them are still going strong out there.
My brother L wants to show.
Look at that ash, man. Look at that ash on the 1888. You talk about quality. Look at that, man. He's now just beginning the second third of this nice Toro cigar right here. 6x54. This is the Prince 1888. Quick history behind this. We were making this with our master blender. We were tasting something that's named the Doble Añejo Brugal Rum. And out of República Dominicana, hence the name Prince 1888. Look at that ash, world. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Bam.
Yeah.
So a lot of the cigars that we produce, we have an idea of what the blend will yield. And after we complete the blend and we smoke it, we then label the cigar or give it a name based on the characteristics and what it gives us, like the Actitude. When we smoked the Actitude, man, in the retro hell, it just was flavorful and it was spicy. It just had attitude. So one of the master blenders says, well, we're going to name it Actitude. I go, okay, great. So yeah, that's a great blend right there.
You know what? Also, I'll do you a plug or a favor. I'm going to send your name to a good friend of ours. I picked him up in Louisiana. His name is Raul Mexico. And Raul is the producer of Humo Latino magazine.
Yeah.
For all the world. He was able to, they featured us, and we got Rockstar to feature one of his picture, if I'm not mistaken, with a bunch of cigars, at least 5 times now. They've showcased and highlighted 5 of our cigars, highlighted Friends 5 times. The most latest time, down in Houston, young lady, last name is Cruz Sanchez. She said, hey, you guys want to be in my magazine? I was like, what's the magazine? He said, Humo Latina. I said, hold on a second. Let me get the owner on. So I FaceTimed Raul. I said, hey, you know this lady? He's like, oh, look at that. You guys already in Humo Latina magazine. I was like, yes. So we're still growing, man. We appreciate your time. And everybody who's watched, we thank you all. You could be watching Monday Night Football, but you decided to plug in and watch us on the
I appreciate everybody coming in. We'll see you, Lynette.
If you need us, let us know what we can do for you,
yes,
my friend.
Oh, that's not what you can do for me. It's what I can do for you guys. What I can do to get your name out there, what I can do to help support you guys. You let me know what you need from me, man.
What I need from you is my shirt, man. I'm a 2X, man. I need my shirt.
I'm working on the merch, and the merch should be coming shortly. There's a couple different styles I'm looking on, and what I'm doing. I want to make it nice. So there's just going to be the regular logo, the alternate logo, and then the one with the logo with on the back that just says Simonini with the question mark.
Good deal.
Yes. I want to do a jersey exchange. So hopefully you'll have it ready by Smokefest. Maybe.
I'm hoping. No promises on that. I'm hoping.
If you do, we'll do a jersey exchange like the NFL.
Yeah. I got it. Let's hear. Lynette here. Daniel, your tip you gave me about how to figure out what blends I prefer at DSF. You told me to think about it like cooking spices, and whatever cooking spices I look for that in a cigar. Well, there you go. Well, I'm glad I could help you out on that, because I get asked that question quite a bit from people. Is And I always tell people, think of it like cooking. You know what you like when you're cooking and what spices, or go to your spice rack when you try and figure out. Just take a little bit dab of this or that and put it on your tongue. Do you like that spice? And look for cigars that carry that type of preference.
And to your point, that's exactly what Friends does. When we say we curate, we go in there with a pot and we say, hey man, I know what I want in this pot, and we go and try. We go to the farms and we try out every different spice in that spice cabinet. We see the cabinet. We're like, it's kind of like creating the perfect dish or creating the perfect outfit. Give me a little bit of this, give me a little bit of that, and then we come back out and we're like, all right. It's not like when we picked the 1888, we just picked the stick and said, okay, just give us whatever you got. No, we went in and we're trying out we done tried out 3 or 4 different blends of it until we said, okay, this is the one.
It starts with the leaf. You have to start out with the top tier quality tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
And once you start from there, then, your success rate is better off.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And since you guys are getting some of that top rate tobacco, because the big guys don't want it, you might as well put the bangers out. You're not mass producing anything.
There you go.
And I think that's
One day we'll be mass producing it, man. one day, man.
It's coming.
It is, and I also tell people, go on Amazon and go buy yourself a flavor wheel on Amazon. What flavors are you picking up from a cigar when you're thinking about it? Is it sweet? Yeah. Is it salty? Is it spicy? And go. I know what I like in cigars, but I've also reached that point within the cigar that I'm also not looking. I'm looking for flavor. Whether that be a mild cigar, if the flavors pop, that's all I care. That's what I care about now. I'm not looking, out there. What I know,
Russ. Yeah, I've been smoking about 30 years, since 1995. So it's hard for me to get that banger like I used to get years ago. Now I wanted to extract the notes that the master blender intended you to, experience. So I share that with you.
It is. Anthony, bro, I appreciate you subscribing, and have a good evening, sir. I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so much. Yeah, for me now at this point where I'm at, it's about the flavors. Does it pop? I don't, it doesn't have to be full bodied. It doesn't have to, but if it's a mild cigar, if it's a mild, but the flavors pop, man, I'm all about it.
Does it of the smoker?
Some people out there that's like, no, I want this and this only, and that's all. I'm like, but you're missing out on so much stuff out there because you've got those blinders on. Take the blinders off and look at the world. I smoked for about 5 years before I actually ventured out into something different because I was stuck in my ways and I was scared to actually expand my palate. It's just like, no, I like this kind of low end of the medium spectrum, and I just don't want it. But once I got over that fear and I started venturing out to medium plus, full bodied and stuff, I'm like, man, I spent 5 years and I've missed out on probably smoking a lot of great stuff because I was scared, because I had I was tunnel vision. Had those blinders on.
Exactly. And it's also about educating the smoker on different variations of the tobaccos.
Yeah.
A lot of times people come up to us say, what do you recommend? It's not what I recommend. Let me know something about you. What's your palate? What do you like? Yeah. And then that way we can kind of guide you to the cigar that you will appreciate.
Yeah, so when I run into a cigar that's in my wheelhouse that those are the flavors that I like, yeah, I'm all about it. It's like, yeah, it has this, but I'm willing to open my mind up to try something that's outside of what I like, just because the flavor, somebody tells me, nah, man, the flavors in this pop. It's what I want. And so, I made that determination that I was no longer going to box myself in, that I was going to expand my horizons in my palate, because there's too much good stuff out there that I missed out on because I was scared.
Yep, and it broadens your experience level. So if you figure out what notes that you're smoking, you can then pivot and say, okay, I could pair this with a whiskey or a scotch or a wine or whatever it is that will accentuate the experience.
Yes. Yeah.
So
don't be scared. Don't be scared. If you're a newer smoker, don't be scared to try out. You don't know if you like it until you try it. And exactly. You know, maybe it's not for you, or maybe it's too much for you right now, but it gives you something that you can go back in a year or two and revisit and see, has your palate changed? You know, because your palate's, it's ever expanding and ever changing. Now, for guys like me and you out there, our palates are kind of set because of how long that we've been smoking. Right. You know, so we're kind of, you know, we are that grumpy old man who's yelling at you to stay off the lawn out there. But you know, your palate is ever expanding and ever changing. But don't be scared. Don't be scared to go out there, because you'll hit a certain point in your smoking career out there where you're just like, yeah, I don't need to have this cigar that's this, and this. You know what? If the flavors hit and the flavors pop, that's what I'm all about. And that's where I've been at probably for the last 10 years, is just give me something that the flavors pop. All right. Oh, but it's a mild cigar. Yeah, but how are the flavors in that mild cigar?
Yeah. And another thing that will add to that, a lot of times our palate gets desensitized based on what we've been eating all day and all that good stuff. But if you take the opportunity to learn how to retrohale, that will bring alive all of the, you know, the nuances of that blend, and you can appreciate even more.
Yes, and you know, and for people out there, you know, if you're a follower of the channel, you know that December and July, I take those months up. I've rarely smoked during those months. I give my palate an opportunity to basically reset. Yeah, you know, I smoke a lot of stuff, and I do a lot, just not with the shows and the content, but you know, I also work with brands who are building cigars, and so I'm doing a missed service to them and to the brands out there that when I'm like, yeah, you know, and I know when I hit that point, because everything starts tasting exactly the same. I'm like, nope, palate needs a reset. So you very rarely see me smoke. You know, all the content and stuff you see, I film and take a lot of photos of stuff weeks in advance. So you know, it covers me for that month that I take off. So you think I'm smoking, but I'm not.
Got it.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm giving that. That's just as important, especially if you're working on the content side of stuff. You know, we'll do that. You know, Dallas Smokefest. I'll be smoking a lot. Yeah, I'm probably going to take a week or two off from smoking when I get back from Smokefest, because it's just way too much smoke going on and all that. Same thing, PCA. Take a week or two off. You know, the content's still got to come out, but the content was already filmed prior to.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah, that's smart.
I like to keep it. I like to keep that palate fresh.
Awesome.
Out there. Yeah, guys, man, I had a great time with you tonight. We had a little bit of a hiccup with the stream out there, but we got the stream back, and y'all came back, so you know, I'm happy for that. Thank you guys for coming back. I'm glad. I don't know what happened with whether it was the streamer or the internet or what, but we're back. So that's all. That's what's important on it. If I had to pulled up my phone and used the phone to keep the party going, but we're here. But to make sure you guys are all connecting with Friends Cigar, I've got links to everything them down in the description. So I made it easy for you guys to link up with them.
Great. Appreciate you, sir.
And anything you guys want to promote before we end out the show?
Mesmerized cigar coming soon. The Mesmerized. Don't ask about it, be about it. Smoke it. The Lonsdale Old Fashioned. And then the new DSF stick we're making. See you in Dallas.
That's right. I better see you all in Dallas.
And in La República Dominicana in December.
Yeah, come join us. Great time.
Excellent. Glad to have you guys on. Next Monday, another banger show. I've been waiting. It's taken a while to get this one to happen, but I'm happy to have on Kevin Brown from Conscious Cigars. It's only taken 3 years to get him on the show. We've been finally able to make it work, so I'm happy to have Kevin come on, man. I love that brother. Good dude out there. So I hope to see you all next Monday night. Same time, same station on there. And that's it for tonight. Guys, thank you so much. Everybody out there, take care. Be safe out there. Don't do anything we wouldn't do because we're sweet and innocent boys. And we will see you all next week, everybody.